I just see.
Hi everybody. We are live here with Charlsye Miller. I'm glad that you put on your bio how to pronounce that, because I wasn't quite sure until I read that. So I'm sure you get that a lot because you write it in your bio.
Yep.
So Happy New Year, everybody. It is the new year. We are here setting goals, I'm imagining, and intentions for the new year. I know I've been working on that. I know Charlsye's been working on that herself and with people that she's working with. And I met Charlsye, I actually just talked to her for the first time a couple minutes ago, but we met online on a Mompreneur site, which we are both members of. And for those of you who don't know what Mompreneur even means, we'll talk about that probably a little bit later. But she has some great stuff coming up that I think would be awesome for anybody who is a mom, a homeschooling mom, a working mom, stressed out, even not moms, but female entrepreneurs. She's got some amazing things coming up. And as a chiropractor, my main goal is to help you to create a healthy lifestyle, a healthy environment around you. And I see stress as one of the top struggles that we have, especially as moms, but as busy women in general. So I brought Charlsye. I asked her to come on and share some of her tips to help reduce the stress levels in your life, and so you can help to create a bright, strong, amazing future. And I love to help you to be part of that. So a little bit about Charlsye before we get in and start asking her questions and picking her brain, so you know who she is. So she lives in Arizona, which is probably a lot warmer than it is here right now.
Not the part of Arizona that I'm from. I'm in northern Arizona where it still snows and gets cold, but yeah.
We don't even get snow here, so maybe we're warmer. What's the temperature there right now?
Well, we've actually had like an unseasonably warm past couple weeks. I think right now it's 60 degrees outside, so that's actually pretty warm. But normally right now it's like in the 30s. Like it's crazy how warm it is right now. Like
wow,
yeah, it's never this warm.
We're in the high 30s, low 40s.
Yeah,
during the day here usually.
Yeah, so that's about usually where we're usually in, like about right there at this time of year.
Cool.
Yeah,
but we don't get snow. We just get rain.
Yeah, right.
So Charlsye is in Arizona, temperature about the same as here, I guess, with her husband of 13 years and her 5 kids, whom she also homeschools. She is a success and mindset coach for mompreneurs and helps them learn how to create a financially successful business and home life without the chaos and overwhelm, so they don't feel like they're sacrificing their family or their time to reach their goals. Okay, she's not a fan of snakes, spiders, dusting her home, or being cold, but she's a woman who loves Jesus, sour candy, fruit books, especially the smell of them, volleyball, and a thunderstorm. So welcome, Charlsye. It's nice to have you here. What do you want to add to that? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I was trying to think. I'm like, yep. So I've been coaching women. I kind of started branching out, and I see everybody's comments. So I know it is like global warming, right?
I know.
So I've been coaching women for the past few years. Before that, I worked in a very successful MLM, and while I was doing that, I realized I love the product and I still use the product, but what I loved about it was coaching and helping women to build super successful businesses. And so that's what got me into just creating my own business entirely and coaching, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, cool. That's kind of how I got started, I guess.
Awesome. So how long have you been doing that for, you say?
So I've been coaching people for about 5 years. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so you're online.
Exclusive coaching I've been doing for 2 years. So
you do your Facebook page is called the Intentional Mompreneur, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me or tell everybody what a mompreneur is and what you mean by an intentional mompreneur.
All right. So a mompreneur, right? We know what an entrepreneur is. That's somebody who is creating their own business. But a mompreneur is somebody who is creating their own business and being a mom. And so we kind of have special challenges because working moms, right? My mom worked my entire life, but she had to like leave home and go work, and she could like go and she could focus. And it was still really hard because she'd have to come back home and get work done. I mean, get like household things done. But I think as mompreneurs, our challenge is usually like a balancing, like fitting that work in between like our kids wanting our attention, sitting on our lap, touching our computer, right? And needing different things done while we're trying to get work done. And so our struggles are a little bit unique as being moms and entrepreneurs. So intentional comes from just how I want to be as a businesswoman, right? Intentional to me means living life on purpose. It means making choices that are actually for like the best benefit of what I need. And so like, I kind of say it like creating my own life and actually like saying this is intentionally, right, what I want to do and be and have, and making sure that my choices are in alignment with that. And so if I want to run a successful business, I have to be more intentional and more focused on where I'm spending my time and things like that.
Yeah, and I think for everyone, their intention might be a little different. We sometimes get stuck in the mindset that we should be doing what someone else thinks we should be doing, and not necessarily what we really want to be doing. I see that happen a lot. Or what their mom, mother, father, teacher, preacher tells them they should be doing. So I think that's great that you focus in on what that individual really, really, truly wants to do. So that they live, I know you talk about living the life of your desire and not someone else's. So what kinds of things do you target and what do you have moms focus on when they're trying to figure out what is the life that they desire?
I usually ask them to really focus in on their feelings. Like, what do they want to feel more of, right? Because a lot of times our feelings really drive our goals. So a lot of times we might set a goal and say, like, this is what I want. But anybody who's ever like done any kind of personal development, they're going to hear like, get to your why, right? Get to figuring out why you're doing this. And our feelings really teach us that. And so a lot of times I will tell women to focus on how they want to feel. And so like right now, if they're feeling like this, stressed and overwhelmed and chaotic and hectic and unbalanced, instead, what do they want to feel? And really tune into that and make sure that their actions mirror that feeling, right? Yeah. So that's one way that I try to help them out.
Yeah, I see that as part of living. If you live your life and your intention and your desires, there's a lot less stress on that because you're not trying to do what someone else wants you to do. Yes. I don't know if you found out, but I think I've seen that with people. So what are some of your tips for women who are feeling stressed, frustrated, and defeated in their life and in their mompreneur journey?
So my number one tip is planning. Like, you have to know what you're doing and when you're doing it. And for some people who are like free spirits, they might kind of think, oh, I don't want to do planning, right? Like, that's too structured. And so they want to like fly by the seat of their pants, but that's why they feel overwhelmed and stressed out, is because they don't know what they're doing when they're doing it. And so I really like a really laid back, but yet structured form of planning, and that's time blocking. And the reason I like that is because it's like, I know what priorities and what things I'm getting done at a certain time of the day, but then I have all kinds of open spaces in between it where I could do whatever I want in those open spaces. So I still have structure and flexibility. And then the next thing is probably like your morning routine. Like, you've got to start your day out the way like that you want to, like grounded. A lot of you ladies, you can probably totally relate that you're laying in bed and you're just, sleeping. And then all of a sudden your kids come running in and they're like, mom, 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 right? And they just need you and they want breakfast, or so-and-so hit me, or they pinched me, or, something like that. And so that immediately starts your day off like in chaos, right? And you're meeting the demands of everybody else. And so I always tell ladies, like, wake up, even if it's 10 minutes before your kids typically do, and just take a few moments to ground yourself. I do what's called like a morning trifecta. And that's where I cover my my physical, my spiritual, and my mental frame of mind. And I just take a few moments. If I have like 30 minutes, then cool, I'll do that. But sometimes I only have like 10 before my kids are banging on my door. And so I try to get those areas covered, being woken up by kids is the worst. It really is. Like that makes my day just be like, right? Like I'm already in like that zone of like stress. And so if I can just get that morning trifecta done, then I'm a lot more at ease, and I kind of have like my needs met for the day. And I feel like I'm in control of my day instead of letting my day control me.
Yeah. And it can only take like 10 minutes. Like if you have 10 minutes to yourself to sit and focus and drink a cup of tea or
that's
whatever it is for you, you know, sit, some people meditate, some people get even in like a 5 or 10 minute stretching / yoga session before their kids come and pounce on them for the day.
Yes. And I have a lot of moms tell me like, well, then I would be waking up at like 5 a.m. Well, I wake up at 5 a.m. Like you can do it if you really like want your day to be better. But even on those days, like I have an 18-month-old, and there's nights where she went through like this stage of being up for like 2.5 hours, right? Just like wanting to play. And so 5 o'clock would come and I would like hit snooze on my alarm. Like, no, I'm not getting up. And those days were always way more chaotic. And then, so I tell women like, if that does happen, like, even if you didn't get a moment to do it before your kids came rushing in, then get them squared away, get them breakfast, and then go in your room and just tell them mom needs 10 minutes, right? And go and take that time for you just real quick to get that done. So
yeah. So, and like you have 5 children from the ages of 1.5 years to 11 with a set of twins in the middle of all that. Yeah. So I think if you can do it, anybody should be able to get in 5 or 10 minutes in the day, because that is,
right.
That's pretty hectic. And I admit that the snooze button, you know, I do hit the snooze button, and there are some days where I just need to sleep a little bit longer, a rough night. And, you know, you have to have grace with yourself, I think. If you, perfection out the window. That's one thing. Yeah. 2018, perfection out the window. Not everything has to be perfect, because you are going to drive yourself nutty, absolutely crazy insane if you try to do everything perfect. And I am trying to get off that perfection bus myself.
That's where like 2 years ago I had that awakening, and now like my motto is done is better than perfect. And so I just need to like get done. And so yeah. And you're going to have different needs. So sometimes like you really need your sleep, right? And so that night, go ahead and sleep, but you also still need to ground yourself sometime during the day. So exactly.
Yeah. So I know for myself, it's tougher to do things without a support circle. What kind of people do you reach out to help to support you and getting your goals met? Or my husband is great. I have a great father-in-law. I have a babysitter that helps me a ton now. Not everybody can do that. But a friend or someone that can help, you know, swap watching kids or take them on a play date or something like that. What kind of people do you reach out to?
Oh, so like my husband, he is like an amazing support. He always is, you know, asking what I need when I need it. We live in a really small town where actually a lot of his family is. And so quite often I can like tune into them and ask them for different help. But I've hired a virtual assistant. That was probably like one of the biggest things that I could do. Like the best investment that I made was getting a virtual assistant and saying, you work on this stuff because that's not really like my zone of genius. And then I could be with my family or work on the things that actually I'm good at doing it in my business. And then go ahead.
Where does someone find a virtual assistant? And what do they do exactly?
So virtual assistants do a lot of different things. There's some virtual assistants that are like bookkeepers, and that's the next thing I'm hiring out is someone to handle like my QuickBooks and all that stuff, because it's so not my favorite. But my virtual assistant, she does like my newsletter. She helped build my website. She does like different campaigns for me. And in my Facebook group, which I think that we shared the link on here, we could share it again. There's actually quite a few women in that group that are virtual assistants, and they're all amazing at what they do. And so you could tune in and ask them, and they all have different rates and different packages. Some of them focus, like I said, like on the bookkeeping end of it. Others focus on like your social media. Some of them could totally handle all of your Facebook or your blogging. Like you could write your blogging, but they could post it and they could handle all that back office kind of stuff so that you could just focus on what you're needing to focus on.
Yeah. And I think the key to just that virtual assistant is knowing that we don't have to do it all ourselves.
Yep.
because we can get stuck in that rut of thinking that we need to, one, know how to do it all ourselves and then be able to do it all ourselves. And I was in that rut for a very, very long time. And also some people are very controlling and they don't want to have anybody else control any of that stuff. So you have to let it go. Done is better than perfect, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's the year that I finally shifted into, like when I said that done is better than perfect, that's when I was like, okay, so they might not do something exactly the way I do it, but at least it's getting done. And at least I'm able to come over here and do what I'm really, really good at instead of spending 3 hours on trying to figure out a newsletter, right? Something like that.
and then for me, it's, I have to like swallow a little bit of humble pie and notice that, what they are doing is actually getting better results than what I was doing.
Right.
So they do know, they know what they're doing, and I should let them do that.
Exactly. Yes.
Stick to what we know and what we're good at, right?
Exactly. Yep. For sure.
So other tips, what do you have coming up? I know that you do, you coach moms, you coach people one-on-one, you do group coaching, and you also have a summit coming up. So tell us about your coaching and what you do and the summit that's coming up. Because I think there's a lot of people who might especially want to hop in on that summit, because I thought that's how I first heard about you, I think.
Yeah. So first I'll just start off with like the coaching. I do private coaching with women, and on that one, we just like dive into whatever they're struggling with. Like I help them with marketing, and I do a completely different version of marketing than most people do, that my coach taught me, and that like totally propelled my success like way quickly. Like my numbers like quadrupled. And so we go into marketing, we go into getting really clear on like who your target audience is and how to like balance work and home. So I do basically with my private group or my private mentoring, I go into whatever they're needing. We do money, mindset, confidence, and things like that. But then with my group program, I have one that starts off on the 22nd of January. And in there, we go really deep into like money and confidence mindset. And we talk about like those daily success habits that you need to make sure that you're doing every day so that you're not feeling like this hot mess of a mom, right? That you're not like working too much or doing too much at home, that you're actually like able to keep a balance. And then we talk about goals and visions. And actually like a lot of people know their goals, but they don't know the steps that they need to take to get there. And so they say like, I know that I want this, but I have no idea like what steps to take. And so we get really clear on those steps. And then lastly, we focus on like doing your money making habits. Because a lot of people are like, I'm working 40 hours a week on my business and I'm not getting anything done with it. And so a lot of that time is actually really like busy work, that they're not doing those activities that are going to bring money into their business, and they don't even know what those activities are. So we really focus in on what is it that you need to do to bring money to your business. So those are the ways that I coach women and kind of what I teach them.
Yeah, money mindset is huge. So I think a lot of women, we want to help. Everyone wants to help everybody else. But if we don't get anything in return, especially financially, because we have to have something to be able to keep on offering these services.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we're going to have to go and get a job at Starbucks or something like that.
Right.
You have to have some, you have to have a roof over your head. You have to pay the bills. You have to do this thing. So I think just the mindset that, yes, you can accept funds and money for the things that you offer to people is sometimes a tough one and a huge one for women to get old.
It's a big one. Like women are like naturally givers, like we naturally are. And so a lot of times we just want to give and help. But really then you're taking away from your family or something, right? And even from yourself, because it's like, I'm putting in all this effort, but really you're not feeling completely satisfied. And people will always tell you it's not about the money, but there is like a little bit of it that everybody would like to have a little bit more money, right? So they could do more things. So money mindset is a huge thing.
Yeah. And we talk about that a lot just in chiropractic, because chiropractic and healthcare workers in general are people who just want to help people. We want to make people feel better and improve their lives and, just give. But like I said, if you don't have anything in return, then you're not going to be able to give. You have to receive to be able to give. It's a cycle. Yes. So I think that's awesome that you're addressing that with women too, because until you get that in your mind, then you're not going to manifest it coming in either.
Exactly.
tell me about the Rapid Revival Summit that's coming up and what that's
about. So I'm super excited about that. My friend Kristen, she's another speaker in this event. Her and I have been like brainstorming and creating this since like August of last year. And well, actually, we really thought about it like even a year ago, but it finally like started coming together. And so what it is we have 7 mentor coaches, speakers who are joining us, and all 7 of those women, they help women learn more about like their life purpose, how to get that clarity. Because a lot of women are saying like, I know that there's something more that I need to do or should do, but they might not know exactly what it is. And so we have different speakers who are helping with that. They're helping with learning more about self-care, or learning about like being authentic in your voice and in your actions, and how to draw customers to you, how to balance home and family. One of ours is like the power of choice, and how to like move past different things that might be holding you back, like different relationships or different things that you might be using that kind of as an excuse or a cop out. Right. And then also like how to get rid of those negative voices in our head that might be telling us we can't do what we want to do, or we're not worthy of that abundance or that love or whatever it is. And so it's a super powerful event. It kicks off on January 16th. And what will happen is every Tuesday and Thursday from then until February 1st, I think. Sorry, my mind just went blank on that one. But we will have a new speaker like presented, and you don't have to be live for it. It'll be like a recording, and so that that recording will be sent to your inbox, and you will have access to it forever, where you could watch it anytime that you want and kind of get that training from anybody and connect with that. And then with that, we'll also have like a Facebook group as like support. So if one of the speakers really like spoke to you and you'd like to connect and talk to them and see like what they could possibly help you with, then you can reach out to them. So, but it's going to be a super powerful, awesome event.
Yeah, I was reading the bios of all the speakers, and they sound like amazing women with so much to offer. Yeah. And some of them have been through a lot in their life too, and come out on the other end just strong and powerful and successful, probably beyond what they thought they could do when they were going through their turmoil, of course. So
exactly.
As we all.
Yep, exactly. And a few of them will share that, like they share those stories and those struggles of what it felt like. You know, a lot of them have very dark, hard struggles that they went through, right? And others, they might not seem as like big, but they were big to them, and they held them back, and how they were able to work through them. Yeah,
I think that's going to be awesome. I think I'm signing up for that one.
Awesome.
See me on there.
Cool. Glad to have it.
And then you're mentioning, I'm going to back up a little bit about the words that we say to ourselves in our heads. Yeah, I think we are our own worst critics by far. And we're always telling ourselves nasty things. Like if you could record what you tell yourself and play that to someone else, they would hate you probably. They would never be your friend. They would never yeah. And so just to have other women know that it goes through every woman's head, all those things like, I can't do this. What am I thinking? Why should I do this? Who am I thinking I'm going to, and worse things that you say. So this summit I think is awesome, and it's free, right?
Completely free. Yeah, it's amazing. Like these are women who are dedicating their time, and it's completely free. So and people who normally like an hour of their time would cost hundreds or thousands of dollars, because of what they do. And so it's full of a lot of value.
Yeah. So I really am glad that you are sharing all this with the people I know, with my folks and your folks and whoever else is going to see this in the next upcoming days and weeks ahead. I am passionate about helping women and helping moms, especially, create less stress in their life and more success in their future. So they have a solid foundation to raise their families and in peace and in harmony. And I think that this kind of event is something that is not going to do anything but bring positive results in that direction. And then for me as a healthcare practitioner, I see their health flourish even more, because the less stress you have, the more harmony you have in yourself and in your family, the happier you're going to be, and the less that is havoc on your body too as well. So
for sure.
So I think that is awesome. We have the links for both Charlsye's Facebook page and group. So you can get on there and follow her on all that. She'll have all kinds of more information for you. And she does live videos. I was watching one this morning. I mean, always great information. And then for the Rapid Revival Summit as well, there's a link for that in the description of the video as well. Anybody have any other questions? Ashley says, I am totally coming to this. Yes, Ashley, to totally do that. I think that will be, yeah. And hopefully, you said earlier too, that, yep, being woken by the kids is the worst. Yeah, it happens to us all. I don't know if I mentioned, I have 4 kids, and my youngest is pretty close to Charlsye's youngest as well. They're only a couple weeks apart. She's 1.5 too. So thankfully she sleeps like a dream. My boy's not so much, but she's doing great.
Mine did awesome, but had a couple rough weeks. But I love her again now because she sleeps. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going through teething, now until infinity, it seems like, at this age. So there are going to still be some rough nights. If anybody has any questions for Charlsye or for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. We will see those. We will answer them. You can go to Charlsye's Facebook page and follow her. And I'm sure she's been great about communicating with me and answering my silly questions about different things that I'm going to be doing this year in 2018 and beyond. Any parting thoughts, Charlsye? Anything you want to leave people with?
No, I just want them to feel welcome to reach out to me for anything that they might need help and support with. And like you said, like my Facebook group community, the Intentional Mompreneur. Yeah, Ashley has a set of twins, 4 kids. She's a busy mama too. She's actually one of my private clients. She's awesome. And she is a sleep consultant. So she helped me get my baby to sleep.
We should probably chat, Ashley. You can tell, help me with some of my patients and
she's
what your tips are.
But I would totally say if like you have any kind of struggle with balancing work and home, then come join the Intentional Mompreneur group, because it is like, it's a completely free group, but it's full of all kinds of sources, right? Like you said, I do like Facebook Lives and just different trainings. And you're in a group of women who know exactly how you feel and what you're struggling with. And so I really invite people to just come join us over there.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming and meeting with this strange person who just popped in and asked you to come do this on Facebook.
Hey. No, I totally appreciate it. Look forward to it and loved it.
And it's a joy. Well, I will, I'll get in touch with you, Ashley. Okay. I will talk to you later. Anybody have any questions, feel free to pop on. Again, this is Dr. Cheryl Schmidt at Vital Chiropractic, and this is Charlsye Miller at the Intentional Mompreneur. See you guys. Thanks for logging in.
Bye.
That was awesome.